Okay, we are live. Welcome, everybody.
Yar.
This isn't a pirate game.
It could be. All right, so today we are continuing the Conan campaign. Before we begin, does anyone have any point expenditures, character changes, or anything like that? This is session 2. You have one further session before characters become locked in.
I have none.
I'll take the silence as being everyone is good with their character at the moment. No one's spending points, or they've already spent them.
I made a bunch of minor changes, but no reason to go over them all.
Sorry, that was by mistake.
Okay. So, to recap from last week, or not last week, the week before last week. The merchant Tiberius has had some stuff go missing. You guys have been tasked with tracking down what has happened with that shipment of his. You did manage to find his cart and some of his people. They had been slain by, you imagine, Picts. However, the women that were with the shipment are still missing, and you assume that they have been taken by the Picts. Let me bring up the map. I should put a pin where you guys are. That might be useful. Where did we save them?
Yeah, I would just get one out of the tokens box, but I can't.
Well, that's huge.
Did you not have a grid on that?
There is a grid, yes. That's why it was huge.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Are the hexes that big?
Yeah, I've set the hex to the size of the scale bar down the bottom, and then indicated the size of the hex as being 30 miles.
That's interesting then, because that is graduated in less than 30-mile increments, so clearly they've adjusted that in Unity.
Yeah, there is an option there to check raw distances. So it'll do fractions of a hex.
Indeed.
I was ignorant of that.
Well, here we are.
Right. And as I recall, I was the only one with Nav Land. Has anybody changed?
I have nav land.
What do you have it at?
11.
Okay, so we're at the same. Good. I don't want it.
I can increase mine to 12. I can go ahead and spend 2 points.
You probably should.
You were the ranger type, right?
Yes.
Then you should have it.
Then
I'm
I
a
will.
barbarian.
Rawr.
So you guys had crossed South Creek following the trail of what you imagine, I think, was 5, was the number I gave you.
Did we have a number?
I believe.
Does the
I
GM not have any
remember
notes?
failing pretty badly in my tracking. And the wolf and was it Balder saying, "Hey,
Yep.
what are you doing over there?"
Yes, Kudo was, rolling his eyes at you. And it would appear that the tracks lead to Hawk Village.
Right.
Which is down there.
I think we're going to go and have to kill everybody in a village, guys.
Not again.
Do you do that often?
Maybe.
His father did with Conan's village.
Nah, ain't my dad.
All right, so unless there's any other business to take care of, then we shall continue. So many windows open. I need a third monitor. Okay, so you are traveling through the long grass on the other side of the river, following these tracks. I will get a tracking roll from the person that is doing the tracking.
Right, raptor trails.
Up to 2 people may assist.
Sure, I'll assist. Or
Kudos
make
the
it worse.
best.
Yep, I made it worse.
So success by 5.
I wonder if you can actually have.
Where do you get by 5?
He said 2 can assist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
I
only one of
failed.
them failed. Only one succeeded, one failed.
Oh, it cancels it out.
Well, you got other bonuses there too for
What about navigation lane? Can I use
following
that to
people
see
and
if
all
that'll
that.
increase tracking ability?
No.
We're following a group of people. That's like 3 or 6. I don't remember which.
I think
5.
I think you also got a bunch of bonuses because group
Discriminatory
people,
smell.
and it was less than a certain number of days. So, in any case,
Acute
that was still
vision.
a success.
Yeah,
Can
so
I
it's
get?
-5, +6, and then vision, smell, stuff like that. So
Now what you ought to do is create a note and put all the modifiers in it so you remember them.
Can I get hearing-based perception rolls from people in the box, please?
Acute hearing
No,
gives you
I
what, +2?
don't.
Whatever level of acute hearing you have.
What about animal ultra hearing? What does that give?
Animal what?
Animal ultra hearing.
Can hear the whistles.
Oh, is this for
Yeah,
Kudo?
it doesn't do very.
Yeah,
it doesn't
Kudo.
do very much.
In this case, it's not going to be for Kudo. So you're some 23 miles, so that's going to be half a day, I think, trek.
Ish. Depending on
You're
the terrain. Do we have an actual track here? It's probably not good roads or average roads.
it's probably a little bit less than average. So they're like trails.
Probably more like a better part of a day. Of course, that would be also dependent on what time it was when we found the wagon.
All right, so you continue your trek, and for the better part of the day, you're getting on to evening. Can I get an IQ roll now from Kurgan?
Gosh, I wonder if he made the check.
Nah.
So Kurgan, throughout the day, you hear like bird calls and animal sounds, and after a time, you're able to work out that these are mimicked sounds. They're not, not the actual animals. And you will then get the impression that you're at least being watched and followed by someone. Will you mention this to the rest of the group?
I would. Yes, I would. I wouldn't do it out loud. I'd be more of whispering into people's ears. We're being followed.
Good God, man! Don't sneak up on me. I almost killed you.
You will also know that this is not unusual. Picts are very good at being unnoticed.
Forest ninjas.
I never noticed that.
So, everybody, that sounds like we are probably being followed by at least one, if not more, Picts.
Well, then we should tell them to bring or give us the girls back, and we won't have to burn the village down.
We should tell them to pick better targets.
Stop it. I will smite thee.
You will be
There's
smoked.
a micrometeor that falls from heaven, just happens to hit you in the head.
Such is the cost of humor.
Well, do we need to sneak away and try to capture the Picts? Do you want us to do that?
All right, Daniel, you're the team leader.
I don't want to be leader.
Does my cultural familiarity with Pictish give me any insight?
Give me an IQ roll. That didn't need to be in the box.
Okay.
But you do have some knowledge. It is not uncommon for the Picts to sort of keep an eye on people. They will follow and they'll see what's going on. Doesn't always mean bad things. They may be following just out of interest to see what you're up to, or they may be following for nefarious reasons. But for the better part of a couple of hours, you feel that you are being watched and surveyed by one, most likely more, because there's calls being made. You hear the odd caw, caw, caw.
That's what I was going to ask. Am I able to determine like how many might be following us?
You are not.
Does anybody know how to mimic back these noises and confuse them?
Well, you can always try. Where do we expect that we are at the moment? Geographically, topographically? I presume that would correspond to our current map location then.
Yep.
And the boundary for the treaty or whatever, the truce, is the river?
Yes. So the villages that are on the eastern side of Black River, they technically fall under, Aquilonian jurisdiction. So the agreement is the villages, will follow the rules.
So Hawk
Okay.
Village is supposed to be Aquilonian?
They're not Aquilonian, but they're
Under Aquilonian rule.
Yeah.
So having Picts from that village on this side of the river is not unexpected or particularly nefarious on its own.
No. But if they are involved in the incident with regards to Tiberius's stuff, then that would be a breach of the sort of truce.
Or in this case, it's just kidnapping and whatever, kidnapping and murder, whatever the Aquilonian laws are in that regard. I presume it's not a slap on the wrist. So that being said, as far as decision making goes, I would say that we will not go after them, but be watchful in case they actually try something. Because if they're not up to no good, they'd probably behave the same way.
So then, knowing that they're now following us, can we potentially pinpoint them as they're shadowing us?
You can make a perception roll in the box.
I think acute vision +2 gives me +2 vision based, right?
Acute vision will give you plus whatever level of acute vision you have. So you have acute vision 2, so yes, you get 2. So you've got maybe, I don't know, an hour, half an hour to an hour of daylight left in the day. And you will catch glimpse of one of the, or a Pict, sort of catching a drink from a little creeklet. If you are attempting to be stealthy, I'll need a stealth roll.
Are we being stealthy on our
I'm not.
trudging? I think I'm just being watchful. So just indicating, oh, okay, I see.
So is Kurgan going to be scouting ahead of the group?
And that's the last we ever saw of him.
I don't know. Am I?
Do you
Leader?
want to?
You're the leader.
Yeah, well, you're the ranger scout guy, so if you want to range out ahead, you range out ahead.
Are you giving me that instruction? Be the trailblazer?
Did it sound like I gave you an instruction?
You just said if I want to.
I did.
That's not being a leader.
Sometimes it is.
Leading you to the correct option.
Just go do that voodoo that you do.
No, I wouldn't be. I would be ahead of the group, but not like ahead.
Well, how far ahead?
I'll be the one probably leading the group because I'm doing the tracking, right?
Okay.
So roughly how far? 20 yards?
No, probably not even that. I'll just be the one in the front of the line. And so when I see the Pict, I'll be like, hey, Bernanke, over there, saw one.
Everybody take a crack at that name.
It's not that difficult.
Hey, I speak accented Aquilonian, so that's why I screw it up.
Yeah, well, I speak accented Aquilonian too. Actually, no, that's not true. I did buy it at Native.
I speak accented GM, and it's 57 to me.
Well, I can't help it if you suck.
It is what it is. So, the Pict, since you guys are not being stealthy, the Pict will notice that you have spied him catching a drink. He will then raise his bow to you, and then we'll start charging away.
Charging, running away or running towards us?
Away. You see, he for a moment he looks to take a shot, like he's going to take a shot. Perhaps sees that there's, is it 5 of you plus the wolf, and goes nope, and then just bolts.
The half man and the 1.5 man kind of cancel each other out.
True. It's like 4.5 or 4 3/4.
Right. Is he heading like looks like he's running toward the villa in the direction that we're heading, or just in a random direction? I'm wondering if we should pursue.
He's running generally in the direction of the village. Possibly, even along these tracks that you are trying to follow.
Maybe running ahead to warn the rest of the Picts.
So we should pursue.
They already know we're here.
True, with all the calls and everything else, they would have bird calls. They would have sent a message ahead saying that we're on our way.
Also, again, if they're not up to no good, they would still behave this way.
Let's just keep going.
Right. I keep forgetting you have the disturbing voice thing.
How can you keep forgetting that?
No, though the player keeps forgetting that the character has it, and then he, it's like, what's going on? Why is Padre making that? Oh, right, yeah.
I'll let you know if I truly am choking on something.
Actually,
Yeah,
they're
'cause
marching.
there's so much I can do.
Holy crap! What's that? Formation. That's new.
Whoa, that's new.
Oh,
Yeah, that dropped, and you can put us in formation and drag and drop us on a combat map in formation.
That's
Wow.
neat.
but they don't have the map anymore.
So basically, put whoever you want in the center, and you can use the arrow key in some fashion to either rotate us to the north, south, east, or west.
So once again, they've made a change to make something easier that will completely eliminate what we normally do with it.
It's called progress. Sort of. Kind of.
Honestly, we're probably going to not be in any sort of formation here.
That's interesting. What's the target thing in the middle?
I think
that's
cool. That's sort of, you would put someone in the center, and then when you move everything, it should just, you click from that center point to drag and drop, I believe, onto a map.
That's interesting.
So I'm noticing that all of them are locked to me except my character. So I can actually move me around. That's cool.
What are you looking at?
Okay. Party sheet. The
Party sheet?
order. He probably doesn't know it's there.
Now I know. Oh, okay.
Why doesn't he have a token? Why
Because
is it
I
his
got
picture?
the new character. It needs to get swapped out.
Oh, Apentius. He doesn't have the token I made for him. Guess need one for the wolf too, don't we?
You're telling me the GM is slacking off?
There's the token for... Did we do a token for Apentius?
Uh-huh.
Let me just find that then.
It's on the boards.
Kurgan should be a hex up.
Got it.
Is the dog moonwalking?
Maybe.
You can't rotate them, can you?
Nope.
One step forward.
No, you can only rotate the formation.
It's okay, Fantasy Grounds. We won't, or Smite Works or whatever. We won't give you too much crap. Okay,
We'll
that might
give
be
you
that might be false. Yeah, when did this formation thing come out? 'Cause I don't think
No, I
I've
think-
seen
No
it
idea.
in a while.
No idea.
This last update.
Was it?
They had they had something on their channel introducing it.
Wouldn't the Pentius probably be more in the center of our group? He's not really a fighter.
He's waiting for his token to get exchanged for a proper one.
He's more of a writer than a fighter.
He should have got exchanged then.
You might have to re-drag it or something.
Why is that? On your character sheet for Pentius, are you seeing the proper token?
Yeah. Yeah, the token's there, Brian.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
it's
we
that
can-
on the combat tracker though.
Doesn't look like we can remove him. Oh, is that coming off the tracker?
That would be it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yay! I figured out a thing.
It's bound to happen eventually.
And
now the
Oh, it's probably because of the party sheet.
Brian touched it inappropriately.
There we go.
There we go. Now the half man is there. Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
dog
All
should
right.
probably be one hex up closer to the ranger guy, and then probably Ethan's character is where the dog's at, and then the Pentius is probably in front of Balder.
Yeah, they're
Because
about.
I have to keep pushing him.
And you're saying that I can drag the formation onto the map, yeah?
Like onto a combat map, you should be able to. I don't remember how you're supposed to do that, but
Bear
whether
with
it's a
us,
drag and
stream.
drop,
We're figuring something out.
but apparently you can pick it up and drop it in.
What does the arrow up there do? I don't. Is that?
So I think that's showing kind of our direction that we're facing.
So if
You
I
can rotate it.
can rotate the formation like that.
Cool.
Okay, but we can't.
Yeah, and then the GM should be able to just, like I say, rotate it however he wants, and then drag and drop it to a combat map somehow.
One issue I see here is this being GURPS.
Yeah.
It doesn't do a hex.
That worked.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to take the size mod off,
No, I'm size mod 1.
but it doesn't. It'll screw it up on the map. That is not. It's wrong.
It's lame.
It is lame.
Fix it.
Well, that is cool. That's a feature I did not know existed.
Because apparently it didn't.
Should the wolf be in the front or the back?
Wolf's going to be
Yeah,
up
it
there
did
by
kinda-
you. He listens
It did
to
put him in
you.
the weird spot.
Yeah, and
What
I
else?
I can't rotate the token.
Really?
Not for the wolf.
Oh, that. Yeah, no, that's. I'm sure that was intended to use the portraits and not the tokens.
All right, so that is your formation.
Meritus can probably come back one.
No. Yeah. Kurgan and the wolf were supposed to be one slot up.
Maybe 2. Maybe 3 or 5.
You want me dead, don't you?
Whatever makes the
Want is a
biggest
strong
difference.
word.
All right.
That's about as regular as you're going to get. It's probably going to shift around a lot.
Yeah, because we're not like on the march where we're hiking.
That'll work for now. All right, so you let the Pict run off, and you continue to follow your tracks.
Their tracks, not our tracks.
Well, their tracks, yes. I'll get a further tracking roll. Again, up to 2 assists.
Hey, I didn't fail that time.
Assists give how much? +2?
+1.
1.
+1? Okay.
You're totally thinking of D&D.
The tracks continue to remain easy to follow. The terrain begins to change a little. You've travelled maybe 15 minutes since you spied the Pict. Since then, there has been nothing, and you have also noticed that the frequency of calls appears to have decreased some, and that assumes that you actually identify the call, because they may well be legitimate bird calls or whatever.
They're totally not, but they could have been.
So the terrain gets a little bit thicker, and your progress is slowed. You need to give me, those of you that have the trap skill, give me a perception-based traps roll.
+2 for acute vision.
Yes.
So success by 2.
So it's only Kurgan?
I'm not a traps guy.
Yep, no traps.
I hit things really hard with my axe.
Strategic traps, maybe.
I just poke him.
Very well.
Luckily, he's in the front, so he'll fall down first.
I wonder how this formation will work, dragging it onto a hex map.
I bet we're about to find out. This looks suspiciously like combat encounter.
Is this more woodlands or is this more jungle?
Didn't quite do a very good job.
Yeah, well, it's based placing it as is from the thing, so we need to actually change it over to hexes in order for it to work correctly.
Yeah, there's no facility to do that, unfortunately.
Well, how do you know? You didn't even know it existed until just now.
Oh, actually, yeah, there might be a thing in the options.
Because I know the other one allowed you to change it to hexes, but it was just treating it like a graphic, I think.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in the options.
Oh, I was thinking of at the rule set level, not a preference.
No, I'll have to look into that. All right, so arrange yourselves. That is your direction of travel. So,
where is this potential trap? How far do you want us to go on the map?
Where you are is fine. You are trudging, following the tracks. Then there is a sudden click and creaking of wood as vines shoot upwards, and a net is dragged from the ground, catching potentially some of you. The way I'm going to work this out is I'm going to roll a scatter, like a shrapnel scatter, with a skill of 15. For every margin of 3 of success will be an additional person caught in the net.
Great. Chewie's thinking with the stomach again.
So that's a success by 5. So 2 people will get caught in the trap.
Party members. Not all of us are people.
Yes, I'm not a people.
Well, let's see. The way I had planned it was to get people to make dodge rolls, and those that succeed by the worst in failing order are the ones that get caught.
What if it's the one in front and the one in back, but not the ones in the middle?
Well, it depends on when the trap is triggered.
A really big net. Right, so you want dodge rolls from us.
Yes, so dodge rolls.
That's appropriate. So Pentius is R2 in this case. I'm clearly Chewy because, well, they're the right size.
Who are we missing there?
The dog.
Okay, so
2 of us made it?
So in order of failure, it would be a Pentius, and then I guess Materius and
Berenike
have to roll off.
Why not just do it in Dex order? I think that's typical.
Yeah, that'll work.
Or reverse dex order in this case.
Yeah. What's the dexes?
14.
13.
What was the first one?
Berenike has a
Yeah, Berenike is 14, Materius 13.
Okay, so it'll be Materius and Apentius that will be caught in the net. And this is a net with rather large holes and stuff, so arms and legs are falling through these holes, making it very difficult to escape. The net will fly some 3 to 4 yards into the air, suspended by vines in the trees. There is a couple of trees that acted as the spring to lift the net in the air.
Ah, who's the dumbass?
Oh, someone's going to get stabbed for this.
Before we go on,
Here come the forest ninjas.
forest ninjas are coming, but you're probably going to get script errors here.
Man,
they're off
forest
script.
ninjas. Yeah, forest ninjas bring script errors.
Did you get script errors?
I got a lot of script errors.
Yep.
So, up ahead, emerging from the trees, is a Pictish warrior. Let me bring up a picture for you.
Take an unholy mixture of, Picts with Woad and Native American tribes, because that's what he did when he created the Picts.
Are these actual rocks in front of us?
Yes.
Nice.
Is this the same Pictish warrior that we let go?
I don't know. They all look alike to you.
It's so tiny.
So I take it we're in combat now, or
Not quite. So he will appear. He will shout something at you. You feel from the tone that it's curses and insults.
Some of the players know that, don't they?
I've got
Pictish broken?
I got Pictish broken, yeah.
I think most of us have it at this point.
So those of you that have it at broken will actually, identify curses being directed at you, and you'll also get something that you don't quite understand, but it's gift to Andigar. He shouts that and then runs and disappears into the brush.
Oh, crap.
You will then hear a horn blow, followed by some drumming nearby. This continues for a little bit and then stops.
Is this normal?
Oh, they're probably calling up some creature. Kurgan, go see if you can find where this is. Find the rope that's holding this up and cut it. We'll hold the area.
But his dog is drawing an arrow.
It's supposed to be Kurgan.
No,
He's supposed to help.
It's the dog. It says Kudo drew an arrow.
I know. I have to make
There's
sure
no
I
reason
select
he
the
can't
right
be helpful.
character. Come on.
All right, so
That'd be
the
really funny. He's holding this slobbery slobbery arrow.
So the vines that secure the net attach to the trees directly. So there's no vines at ground level. You would have to climb a tree to cut it from where it's attached to the tree.
Presumably.
Pentius can burn it away, right?
You could.
I have rope, so
He's gonna be extend a little saw from his chest.
I'll pull out
That's
some
it.
rope and toss it up a limb to anchor myself so I can help me climb better.
You're tossing up a rope.
Yes, tossing.
So
up a
you're going
rope.
to climb the tree.
I'm going to climb the tree to get to the vines to cut them.
Okay. So Kurgan begins to climb the tree in an effort to cut down these vines. The fall is going to be say 4 yards.
Damn, that's a ways up.
That's why I have a rope. And I probably have you guys, I have it looped around so that tied down to the bottom so it catches me if I fall.
I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about them.
Oh, yeah. Well, if I do one vine, then I'll lower it some, and then I do another one, I'll lower it some more, right?
All right, so give me a climbing roll from Kirk. You can add +2 for using rope. You do subtract your encumbrance level.
So what, -3?
Why would you not ground unnecessary gear before you start climbing?
True. Let me see.
So give me that climbing roll. Your +2 for the rope.
Dropping some
minus
weight.
encumbrance.
So light encumbrance would be what, -1?
Correct.
Yeah.
Waiting for the giant bear to come attack us. It's going to be a dire bear.
What are the rest of you doing?
Being tangled in a net.
Forming
Those-
a perimeter.
All right, so we will assume where Apentis is at the moment, and
I guess technically there are only 2 of us down here, so
3.
it's not
There's
much
a
of a
dog.
perimeter. Figured the dog would go with the ranger.
Climb up a tree?
Dog's going to be down.
Well,
He
obviously
can't
he's
climb
not
up
going
in
to
the
climb.
tree.
He can just stand on belay.
all right,
He's
so
helping.
that's the net area. So situate yourselves wherever. We'll have this be the tree. So Kurgan, you're in the tree, elevated there, climbing. Kurgan, you are part the way up the tree. You're heading towards where the vines are secured, and you will all hear a guttural growl and some crashing of trees as approaching, as you sort of wait.
Troll!
T-Rex.
Laser raptor.
That doesn't look like a troll. Well, it looks a little like a troll.
Emerging from the trees, you will see this creature.
Whoa.
Fair enough.
It stands maybe 3 feet higher than the average person. So it's like 8-9 feet tall. I will need fright checks from everyone. You do get your... wait a sec, you're not in combat, so I'm not sure if that actually applies. Your combat reflexes bonus.
Don't get, yeah, you always get the combat reflexes bonus. You just, in combat, gives you a +5.
So you're not in combat, so you won't get the +5. So I'll get fright checks from everyone.
So it gives you +, what for combat reflexes then?
2.
2. You can't, it can't exceed 13, even if it's greater than 13.
I wonder if there's a way to put that into the rule set. Cap skills.
I know we discussed that a long time ago, but I don't think we ever found a solution.
So we got to create a other ability, or just do will checks?
Just will.
You don't have to.
All right, so Pentius, you will fail.
Dude.
Huh?
Oh, sorry.
He
I
rolled
was
an 8.
looking at the wrong number.
Aha.
So we have successes.
I was all prepared to pee on Tyrus.
Well, you can.
Please no. No,
Oh,
no,
no.
we're good. We don't need that.
Kurgan is totally about to fall out of the tree.
Good thing I'm
Go
tied.
on.
Well, he might be out of reach of it,
Woo!
maybe.
And the dog.
Wow.
Nope. Yep.
That's hilarious.
Dude, what's my rolls?
All right, so Kudo just nopes, and he just disappears. He charges off into the woods.
Matt's best friend.
You see him give you a brief look, and you're on your own, dude.
You'll be back.
Can I get you, Kurgan, to roll on that table put +2 in the modifier box.
Shake and bake.
Come on, roll an 18 again. I want to see what that would be.
18.
Disappointing.
All right. Give me a 2d6 roll.
Yeah, I was going to say 2D. He's going to be out for a while.
Well, he could
Jeez.
roll 2 1s.
Yeah, what are the chances? Well, actually, I know what the chances are.
All right. So this horrific, gigantic ape emerges from the trees, snorts and growls at you, then begins to, get on all fours, ready for a charge.
I think size mod 2, isn't it?
Size mod 1.
I thought 9 feet
glad
was
I'm
2.
9 feet is.
So glad I'm up off the ground.
So is Kurgan. He's just stunned.
Unless
Like
you
climbing up the tree.
fall.
Those of you that are in the net are within reach of this thing.
That's rude.
If you wish, you can try cutting yourself out of the net.
No, 9 is the longest dimension if it's 9 feet for size mod 1.
Actually, I would like to do so. I remember I do actually have a knife.
I will get you
so
to
you're
make
extended a little saw.
a knife roll. Your margin of success will knock 5% off the time to extract yourself from this thing.
Excellent. So much progress was saved.
Is Apentius going to try anything?
If I try with my skill level in small knife, I will probably stab myself. I think I will just wait out.
Magic yourself out. We have faith in you.
This is a mental stun, right?
It is a mental stun. Is anyone doing anything ranged attack-wise?
I don't have any ranged attacks.
Is anyone doing
No.
anything melee attack-wise, or are you waiting for it to approach?
Well, I am
He
gonna
is too far ahead.
shift over to the front.
So not doing anything until it gets closer. Once it's within 8, I will probably start evaluating.
Okay, so it roars, stands on its 2 legs, beats its chest, and is, terribly intimidating. You can almost feel the thud as it pounds on its chest. This thing appears to be really strong.
Can somebody please move Kudo out of the way?
And he will be skipped as well. So 5 turns has passed in its display of, badassness.
I'm going to shout back at it.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll yell back.
It then... Does anyone actually have Naturalist?
I do.
And I don't think it's going to matter here, but the crest on the helmet, on the Corinthian helmet, gives me a size mod 1 for the purposes of intimidation. So I would be considered his equal.
I'm already his equal.
He's already his equal. Well,
I have
at least in
Naturalist
height.
Earth.
Give me a Naturalist roll, please.
He's stunned, though. He can't do
Yeah,
nothing
he's got
except
4 more
fall.
seconds.
He can still give me the roll.
The Pinches
Okay.
will say, Bernike, get on Balder's shoulders.
Okay, we will do it. Just 1 second. Turn 6. It steps 2 closer as it's sort of, moving forward on 4s, like as you see gorillas when they're on all 4s. It moves forward, roars, and is being really scary. Like, is anyone doing anything?
Just start banging my axe against my shield.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
we
seem
are-
to freak it out at all.
We are doing counter intimidation.
Steps a little closer. So that's an extra 2 turns. No one doing anything?
So
Bang, bang, bang.
is that rock going to be considered in effect?
An obstacle. So you can step over it. We'll say the rock comes up to maybe 2-3 feet.
Yeah, we don't want to give him a height advantage. Probably want to back up a step.
So you're backing up. Steps forward.
Now I can start evaluating.
That's 9 turns. That will give you a roll to come out of stun.
Is this now will plus 5?
Nope, it's just straight will. Sorry, IQ, it's mental stun. So on this turn you will come out of stun. You can act on next turn.
Not accurate. It actually states in the fright check response every second after that, roll versus modified will.
Okay, so that's going to be a success.
Not
anyway.
that it would have,
Success by
not
2.
that it would have mattered, but
Steps forward another 2.
evaluate 1. Now evaluate 2. What's the max evaluate you have?
3.
3.
3.
What sort of weapon does Materius use?
Spear. Spear.
Okay.
Kurgan's going to prop himself on a limb, make sure he's secure, and start aiming a shot.
Alright, so you'll have to ready your bow. Or did you leave your bow on the
No,
ground with all the
carried
rest
it
of your
with me
gear
up.
when you're climbing?
The only thing I dropped was my pouch, which has water and other stuff. The bow came with me.
A water pouch.
Well,
Okay.
bandages, Fletcher's kit, water jar, whetstone,
That's not a pouch. That's like a backpack.
backpack. Then
Should probably give you bulk penalties to do stuff while in a tree and climbing.
It'll just be bad footing, probably.
That works.
Honestly, this whole place is bad footing.
Alright, so is anyone taking weights or anything like that, or is it all evaluates?
knocking and aiming.
I think
has
I'm actually
Materius-
going to do. I think I'm actually going to do basically all-out defense, increase block.
Has Materius freed himself from that net yet?
He has managed to cut a few of the vines, not quite enough to get himself free.
Okay.
So there was no weights, it was only evaluates and defenses.
It's going to be evaluate when he moved in there. If he looks like he's actually about to charge, then when it's my turn, it will be like, shifting to weights.
I guess you could have an animal handling.
I ain't got that.
If you have animal handling of some sort, then you've got an idea of when it looks like it's going to charge. But at the moment, it could charge at any second.
I will amend my own actions and say that I'm going to talk to it. Say, we don't taste particularly good. I have that on good authority from the brothel at what's the place?
You get the feeling he hasn't been there.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, if he charges, he charges. I have evaluate 2. That's fine.
All right, so you're doing evaluate?
Let's see this. I've already done evaluate 1 round. Is this the second round where he's there?
So you could potentially evaluate 3. This is like the third turn, potentially the third turn of his stuff, his movement.
Right. Then that's what it will be. Third round of evaluate.
Okay.
I've never fought a troll before.
Benike.
Well, clearly Balder isn't going to give it any space.
Dude, you have a reach spear, don't you? You could be behind me.
I don't want it on the rock attacking us and have a height advantage. Yeah, I'm not doing anything different. All out defense. And trying to talk it out of it.
I'm probably not helping. Because it's going roar, and I'm going roar.
Okay, so at this point, Kurgan, you have your bow out. You haven't got an arrow out, so you can fast draw. Or you can normal draw.
Can you
Fast-
eliminate the effects, please?
Nope. Can you not do that?
I cannot do it.
Only the GM and the person that put it on there can do it.
Yeah, I thought we were going to do all out effect. We can't add effects, can we?
Players
can. No, you can't add an effect. There should be an effect for all out.
Going to draw. So I fast drawed, and then I'm going to start to knock or pull back and aim.
There is no all out. 1 second, I'll add it.
Is that right? So fast draw, and then I can start to pull back the arrow and aim.
Yes.
Yeah. Once you've succeeded with fast draw, you can start to aim.
No, it's normally a 3-round process. So fetch the arrow, knock it, and then shoot or aim. So with fast draw, you skip the first part, so you've still got to knock it, and then you're ready.
And then I can start aiming at that point. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so knocking arrow.
Okay, so all out attack and defense are there
Got it.
in the effects.
All right, still in the net, I take it.
Yes.
Cool. I continue trying to get out of the net.
Okay. This ape will charge, spring forward, use the rocks as a means to leap into the air, and it is going to come down on both Boulder and Bernike.
For the record, if it's only size mod 1, it's only 1 hex.
We'll do it like that.
Near enough.
So Baldur should be bigger, right?
No.
And this is,
Well, I guess if you do it that way.
I guess this is like a slam, tackle, an attempt to, well, actually, it can't do both of you if it's only 1 hex, so roll off Boulder versus Bernike.
Roll what?
D6. Highest losers.
6, 6, 6. Yes.
So Boulder, it's coming
I
down
have
on
been
you.
shouting at it quite a bit.
He is louder.
So it is attempting to land on you, doing a slam, flying tackle, pounce equivalent thing. That will be a dex roll, I believe, or wrestling.
On me? Why wouldn't it just be a regular defense? A dodge?
No, I mean its attack.
Oh, okay.
You doing a slam?
Slam, pounce.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with wrestling.
So it'll just be dex then.
All out attack or move and attack maneuver, roll against dex, brawling, or sumo wrestling.
Sumo wrestling, not wrestling.
Correct.
Because it actually has wrestling.
Foe may block, dodge, or parry, but the parry is versus a heavy weapon.
Does your evaluate work for dodge?
Does it not? Well, if it
that's-
doesn't, that's fine. I won't include it because I didn't need it.
That is an official option.
All right, that's
No,
fine.
It's been a while.
So
It's in that hex.
No, it'll move with you. It still has movement.
No, if it misses or is dodged, it keeps going.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there.
Okay. All right. Does that change where this beastie is? Just what?
That's where he is.
Okay. Apprentice is going to concentrate for a second, and then I'm going to try to cast an incantation on this big beastie.
What is the incantation?
So the incantation is called Whiplash, and I need to make a roll from the path of mesmerism -2.
All right, so we'll do the roll next turn. Because you'll have to spend this turn to concentrate. Yeah.
Right. So that evaluate would not have applied. I still would have dodged, but I didn't realize it was only against feint or deceptive.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Been so long.
So what we're going to do is we've got to make basically 2 rolls. We've got to make 1 roll to successfully sort of retcon that I actually attached it to my aura. Based on the results of that roll, that will affect my actual casting roll.
Yep. We'll do that on your turn.
I am in a rear hex.
That's going to be a side hex, not rear.
Well, now it's rear. Not that it matters.
And I will get hearing-based perception rolls in the box, please.
Booyah!
Damn. Did you say they were 12 feet up?
About 9 feet. 8-9 feet.
Oh, this is going to really suck for you, bro. Double normal damage. So
Ow.
how do I do that? Do I just roll it twice or?
Just roll your damage and double it.
Could have been better.
Still cutting damage.
To the skull.
Anything that penetrates is like what, times 10?
Times 4.
Plus the times 1.5 for the
No,
cutting.
times 4.
Still need those hearing-based
Oh, right.
perception rolls.
Oh, sorry, you said in the box.
Yes.
Take it, Kudo's not coming back while the apes are around.
No.
Probably not.
So 10 damage. 4.
Doubled.
So that's 20. Is it injury or damage?
The blow does double damage.
Okay, so that would be 20, then DR.
Yeah, that's going to suck.
20, then DR, then times 4, right?
Yep. This is going to be anticlimactic. That was the health check, wasn't it?
Damage.
Oh, that's the penetration.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
17 times 4.
68.
Right.
So we'll have to make a health minus 10.
Yeah, that's where the 10 was coming from there, Paul.
So health minus 10.
I can't succeed.
So that'll be a
because
fail
that's
by
2.
6. So that will knock it out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stab it.
Down.
I don't think it'll matter, though.
Well, we had to make perception checks, so there's like going to be like 4 or 5 of them probably.
Yeah, this was the baby. Do you need
Here's my
Do you need
token.
me to do anything with that, or are we just good to assume? I'll call that an assumption.
Should probably roll death rolls.
As anticlimactic as it was probably very Conan-like.
All right, so how
Well,
does this
he
happen?
does-
How do you take this thing out?
Okay, so since everything is happening mostly simultaneous, I'm thinking it jumps and I'm already sidestepping, and as it's landing, that axe is just coming down squarely on its head, and the blood that's gushing out is going to splash all over Berenike's shield, but not on him because that's cool.
All right, so in its dying action, it's sort of stumbling around on the ground.
The cave troll.
It is sort of swaying. It sort of lunges and reaches for Boulder, and its hands just sort of grab your, not capes, your cape, but it passes out and releases, and its sort of hand rolls out and lets go of your cape, and its hands are at your feet. If anyone has bloodlust, please make a roll.
Or don't bother.
I can't get
Or
to it
just
yet.
coup de grace.
I will coup de grace.
Okay. So, you will coup de grace. How do you coup de grace this thing?
Call it a spear to the artery.
Why don't you
Jugular,
go into
whatever.
the eye?
Well, I guess that depends on how it's rolled over.
Well, it's face down. Sort of on its side as it was crawling to reach Boulder.
Right. I'll go
Tickle
in
the
through
kidney?
the... Yeah, we'll go kidney back somewhere around there.
Surprise
Vitals.
butt sex.
Okay. It will
Just push it along on its way.
die. A few moments after you withdraw your blooded spear from this thing, you see a black wisp of smoke emerge from its form, and then it moves towards. Let's see. We'll get Bernike and Boulder. You are the closest. I'll get you roll d6, highest losers.
Damn it.
I'm gonna have to kill you, bro.
So this wisp of dark smoke comes out of the body of this creature, and then sort of enters the body of Bernike.
Try to fan it away with the shield.
It is insubstantial to the shield. It just sort of passes through.
Well, you never know till you try.
Can I get a will roll, please?
No.
Or you can just choose not to roll. That's fine.
Well, you said if you can. Said what? Did you say you wanted it in the box?
No,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. For a moment, you feel something. You feel a weirdness. There's a dizziness, a cloudy sort of, things clouding your thoughts. Then the smoke begins to leave your body again.
You'll spit and huff a little bit. Say, there's a wizard about.
So the perception rolls. Boulder. You can hear the crashing of trees.
Another Jotun!
As can Apentis. It seems to be coming in the direction of the north.
It's always from the north.
Is it a similarly weighted crashing of trees?
It seems to be, yes.
I don't know. I don't feel like today's the day, really. But come give it your shot.
And another emerges from the trees. This one is in full charge.
Definitely going to the weight there.
And we start with Boulder.
Yeah, I am doing a weight. Presuming it, comes within attack range, I am going to attack it.
I believe I am going to do the same. I've only got Spirit Reach 1, Reverse Grip.
Aiming.
Continuing with my attempting to escape.
Are you seeing anything on the map there?
Yes. Circle.
That's not doing what I wanted it to do.
It never is it? Oh, right.
It's going to go get Kurgan. No, it's going to go get Kurgan's dog.
That's going to take a while.
Charging a Boulder.
All right. And that means I am an attack. My weight is definitely triggering.
Alas, mine is not.
See what I can do. I will go for that. I wonder if it's even smart enough.
Do you damage?
All right. Outstanding. To the neck. Oh!
Did it do a move and attack or all out?
Moving attack.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's
Doubled.
dropped the DR and then doubled.
You want to see if you severed an artery or hit an artery with the neck
Oh,
location?
yeah, that's a good point.
Roll for the neck.
Nope.
Okay, major wound. It will shake off the major wound.
Of course it will.
And then continue its attack.
Yep.
Ouch time.
Alright, it is going to lay in a punch. This is in close.
Probably need to shrink him.
Apentis. Oh. Your incantation would have happened.
Yes. So when the fella, my initial target would have dropped, how many seconds between that target dropping and this new ape charging?
It's only like a couple.
Okay. All right. Well, let's continue with the initial incantation. Then I'll try to cast it on this new ape.
All right. You make a roll for your things.
1 second. Did the ape have any move left? Yeah. Carry on.
All right. So I'm going to throw this in the box, and
Well, it's no need. You'll know whether it succeeds or fails, right?
yeah. Right. Okay.
So this is to see if you manage to bind it to your aura.
That's correct. So with a success by 5, so I'm just going to read this to you, Brian. If the spell is targeting an animate subject, use the margin of success to determine general effectiveness and precision. Every potential subject who is not a willing participant to the spell effects rolls a quick contest using the better of his health or will, plus bonuses from magic resistance. Now that's what the subject gets to do, is try to resist. Now my success by 5 is not what we're going to roll against. It's going to be based off of this next roll when I actually cast the damn thing.
Okay. And it's versus will?
Will or health, whichever is better in the better of his health or will.
Okay. So roll for your casting.
Nice.
All right. So
Even nicer.
Okay.
what's the effect?
Here's the effect. So I'm going to see if I can just drag and drop this. Nope, apparently not. All right, so I'll read this to you. Causes the target to thrash about violently to the unseen beat of some devilish canticle. Treat this as a seizure from basic 429. Except that the target doesn't fall down, but instead undulates and whips his head back and forth to the diabolic hymn. Additionally, because of the flailing and jerking, he inflicts 1d plus 1 crushing damage upon himself, which ignores DR.
Yeah, seizure says you suffer a fit of some kind, your limbs tremble uncontrollably, you fall down and standing, you cannot speak or think clearly, you can do nothing with nothing italicized. And at the end of the seizure, you lose 1d fatigue points.
Okay. So
That's
it will
pretty brutal.
it will do nothing.
So it will be prone then as well?
No, he
No.
said
No.
it, they don't fall down.
Yeah, he'll
Right,
basically, yeah, he doesn't fall down, and then because of the flailing and jerking, he inflicts 1d plus 1 crushing damage on himself, ignoring DR.
And I am
6.
clearly going to think that I did that with that blow to the neck.
Yeah, maybe. I think he struck a nerve.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. Is there any visual effect of your incantation?
No. Well, unless unless you want me to have one, but
That's entirely up to you.
Aside from me just moving my fingers and saying a word, that's all it requires.
And the noise that this thing and we're making, we're not going to even hear that. Well, since clearly hitting him on the neck causes them to spurg out like that, I'm going to try to hit him in the neck again.
Oh, right. You did a wait.
Yeah, against it.
So I'm assuming that it still gets a defense at -4.
It says you can do nothing.
So, but do nothing doesn't mean you can't
that's
defend.
Sure.
That's an
Maybe?
interesting
It's a
question.
seizure, though. You suffer a fit of
Where
some
is that?
kind. 429 in basic. You suffer a fit of some kind. Oh, actually, yeah, that's going to be. Damn it! Go back.
Well, in this case, it's not going to matter. So, do you damage?
Yeah, I think the way that's written, that's not a do nothing maneuver. That's a do nothing.
Yeah, that is an incapacitating. Well, it is an incapacitating conditions, and in addition to their other effects, you're effectively stunned. Oh, yeah. So I guess he can get active, but he's at -4. I scrolled up on 428 and looked at that. I'm presuming probably DR3.
All right. It begins to fall over and is prone, but still thrashing on the ground in its dying throes.
Right. So now I know when you fight these things, go for the neck.
Evidently, it has some kind of crazy button in its neck.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go up and try to finish him off. All out strong. Telegraph to the vitals.
How long does that thing actually last, there, Padre?
Let's just see here.
Because that's pretty cool. It's totally the pinnacle merchant. Right, Daniel?
Mhm.
Right, Daniel?
Yeah, it doesn't indicate any duration.
That would be determined when you make the spell. So I think the longer you make it last, it requires more energy to create.
Yeah, I kind of went off the basic grimoire version of this thing, and it actually doesn't indicate any kind of a duration whatsoever.
All right,
That's
so
the incanter.
I will go and
What's
take
the name of the spell?
Whiplash. I'll go and take a look. I'll go into the nuts and bolts of this and see if it says anything directly.
Wow, yeah, he's right. It doesn't have anything in there to indicate how long it lasts.
does it have
is
the
there like a
Typical
makeup?
casting. Control mesmerism, 5 plus affliction, seizure, plus damage, direct crushing, 1d plus 1. So it may just be for 1 round.
I know the in magic, depending on the type of spell you're casting, it would tell you.
So one of the things it has here is it's an affliction, seizure. So generally, here's the description for afflictions in the incantation book. So someone affected by any other affliction type other than a stun can make a similar roll to, quote, shake off the effects after minutes equal to the margin by which he failed to resist. Minimum 1 have passed.
Okay, that answers it.
Very effective.
Very, very effective.
All right, so like the last time, smoke emerges from its blooded body,
again, Daniel.
and this smoke moves to Benike.
Again.
Make a roll on your wrong one. Will.
After he stabs that one, he'll huff and say, "Yeah, that counts as yours, Balder." Right. Will, I has it. I still has it. God, there that is again. God, somebody kill that wizard.
Okay, it's not over yet. Boulder, can you make a will roll, please?
Probably not.
As the smoke moves towards or enters your body.
Oh boy, I don't have a great will check here. But luckily, I rolled better than Brian did.
Well, you're above average.
So this smoke is going to be effectively in Benike's hex, and that one in Boulder's hex. It is about this time that those of you that are in the net will begin to fall as you are cut free from the vines. I will allow a dex roll to sort of not just fall, but controlled lower yourself.
Excellent.
If you crit fail, you land on Materius' spear.
I'll be damned. Look at that.
The hard way.
Are we still in combat or are we out?
We're out of combat, but I still need a roll from... Oh no, sorry. So you both controlled lower yourself from the net, untangle yourself, and find yourself on the ground.
While they're clambering down, I'm going to yell back at Kurgan and say, "Can you see any more out there?"
The smoke will move towards Apentis.
I'm going to keep trying to fan it with my shield. Piss off!
The other smoke will move towards Kurgan. So those two, Apentis and Kurgan, please make a roll.
Can I swing away?
Only if you do the Tarzan yell.
You can try, but this thing moves really fast.
So
Against the wind.
Would it be like a dodge? Would it be acrobatics?
Sure.
Actually, I think it's climbing, isn't it? Swinging on that.
Well, in this particular case, acrobatics isn't bad.
He's going to roll an 18. Oh, damn. I was hoping to see the 18 because that would have been hysterical.
You don't need to roll in the box.
You'll know if you're possessed because the GM will say, all right, now you need to try to kill the PCs.
No, it's not that bad. just to make it easy, I'll need to know, keep track, if you've made defenses against the smoke, keep track of how many you've made against, well, who you've defended against. So I think, Boulder, you have defended against 2 smokes? No.
Just one.
Just one
I
smoke.
have defended one each.
Okay. So, for the purpose of this, Benike, you are immune. Apentis, you are immune from smoke 1. Kurgan, you made acrobatics, so I guess you can make a dodge roll if you want.
Come on, roll an 18, Paul. You know you want to do it,
Do I +2 with the acrobatics?
Yep.
but you're at -2 because you're not doing the Tarzan yell.
Alright, so you will dodge it for now. Move yourself a hex somewhere.
So this is completely out of character. I'm just wondering,
I'm
since
basically
Apentius is a caster, would he know what this is?
It's possible.
Yeah, especially since he's just been affected or
If you have hidden law
attacked by-
spirits, make a roll.
I do not have hidden lore spirits. I have occultism. I have hidden lore set Damballa. Not sure if I can default something.
No.
I seem to recall occultism can apply in some cases. That might be
Make a roll on occultism.
Okay.
Alright, so while not exactly appropriate for this, you suspect that these are spirits and they are attempting to possess. Exactly what the nature of that is or what it means if they succeed, you have no idea.
Alrighty then.
So basically, Kurgan is using his acrobatics tied with the rope, dodging by dropping out of the tree.
How high up did you say he was?
Probably didn't get too far up because of
Probably 3 yards.
3 yards? Yeah, so if he does an acrobatics, he can negate that fall easily.
It's all
which
good.
I did. So I'm out of the tree then.
So next turn, the smoke will head for smoke 1 will head for Materius.
I do not approve of its course of actions.
Make a will roll,
if
please.
If it's gonna possess somebody, it needs to be a Pentius, so we can more easily subdue him.
Uh-oh. That's not a will check.
Wait, no, he's a wizard.
Oh, there we go. Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Damn
We're
it.
going to have to put him down.
All right, so the smoke will enter Materius and not emerge, unlike it did for the others. This smoke will continue to go for Kurgan.
Cool. That means
So if you wish to dodge, you can make dodges.
that means the one that I'm not immune to is possessing Materius.
You can make a dodge roll.
Yeah, I'm going to be retreating. So that's what, +4?
So +3. So move yourself in the direction that you're going. Okay. Next turn. I'm assuming people are either moving away or doing stuff. Kurgan, since you are the closest thing to this smoke, it continues to follow you around. So you'll have to make another acrobatics and dodge. This will basically happen until you fail or you get close enough that someone else is closer.
It would have to be a Pentius because both Berenike and Balder have succeeded against that smoke.
I'm not sure if are we still in combat rounds then, or are we just
No.
sort of?
No.
Okay, well, if we're not in combat rounds, Apentius is going to be moving away from the smoke, but he's going to be also saying, "If you pray to your gods."
Come here!
All right, you can make your dodge roll. So move yourself 1 hex, whichever way you go. All right, so next turn it continues to follow Kurgan. So you can make your acrobatics and your dodge.
Did the dice stay on the thing for a really long time for anybody else?
I didn't notice.
Didn't seem to be.
You move yourself.
Pentus will scream out, Kurgan, by Ishtar's pendulous breasts, pray to your gods.
I'm going to get up on that rock.
All right.
Aranike is going to swipe at it with the shield while it passes.
It is insubstantial to the shield that just passes through.
Yeah, keep trying anyway.
So it'll continue with Kurgan being the closest.
Kurgan's like, screw this. I'm gonna make the damn check. Uh-oh.
All right, the smoke will enter Kurgan, and it will not emerge. All right, so for meta information,
you're both doomed. You died.
But I
I'll copy this.
succeeded.
Yeah, but they succeeded by more.
Do I get combat reflexes like +5 to my will?
We're not in combat.
This is kind of combat.
Not anymore. You have embraced it.
So that is the effect. So these creatures were Wendigos. They are evil
Nice.
spirits.
We are going to have to put you two down. It's going to be awesome.
So those of you that are possessed are in the process of transforming into one of these.
Oh,
Well,
That's
And
I
you will
know
you will
to
probably
swing in the
notice
neck.
now that these things are dead, you will probably notice there's like tattoos and such similar to those of the Picts, you know, on its skin after sort of closer inspection.
Did my
Well, I
natural
suppose-
skill give me any information on Wendigos?
No, you
That's not
didn't
natural,
succeed by
that's
enough.
Probably going to be a supernatural. Oh wait, yeah, he already said it's a hidden lore spirits.
Yeah, so none of us actually know anything about what's going on.
But that is an effect on your characters. So over time, you are going to develop a taste for human flesh. And I guess you'll be growing hairier and stronger. And eventually you will become one of these.
What happens
is
if
this
they
a
get killed
curse?
before then?
So is this a curse?
It is
Possession.
curse, damnation, possession. You don't know exactly.
Will
But-
this get added to our character sheets?
You can make a note transforming to Wendigo.
Doomed.
But Pict shamans do know the cure.
Hey, they just set these things on us. I'm all for wiping out the village now, which the player will acknowledge may be a little rash, but you know,
This is Conan.
he's a barbarian too, at least to you guys.
How long does this normally take?
No idea.
It happens over the space of a couple of months.
So what happens if they die before they're possessed or they transform?
Then the spirit will leave their body and attempt to possess the next nearest living being
How long do the spirits last?
forever. Until the spirit is exorcised from your body.
That's right.
Oh, by a
Drop
Pict
and do
shaman,
50
okay.
push-ups.
Doesn't necessarily have to be from a Pict shaman, but they know the cure. Not that your characters know this. There might be, some educated scholars of, this sort of weirdness that might know, and of course there might be a Mako that can do some magic to fix you, or maybe a Pentus can formulate some sort of ritual if he has the appropriate paths, I guess.
Maybe I can.
That's a good question.
You'd also have to figure out what actually happened. He knows
But
they're
at this point, no one knows
spirits,
what happened. You know that they were probably possessed by some spirits.
It's probably going to be a while before I realize anything is even wrong.
but,
Well, Kudo might tell the
maybe.
difference. I'll be whistling for Kudo
Yeah, that's
to come
true.
back.
No, he's gone. You don't get to keep him. He ran away.
Right, well, that was fun. back to the trail. I have to keep an eye out for those nets.
Ha ha! Very good. Much fun.
Does anyone take any trophies from the Wendigo corpses?
Can I use
that's
a
a good
naturalist
question.
roll to see if there's anything valuable to take?
It's a really interesting question.
Yeah, I don't see taking the trophy on this one. I mean, you have to carry it around with you.
Not that bad.
It's going to be a really big head if you, for example, take a head.
They do have big canines, so you can
Eh.
remove a tooth.
No, not probably. I don't think Balder will, because it's just these things were just, as far as he's concerned, just wild animals, and they weren't that aggressive. He killed one with one blow, and mostly killed another with 2 blows.
Actually, I'll get perception rolls or observation, whichever. On a success, you will notice the Pictish-like tattoos on these creatures,
Oh, interesting.
and you can make of that what you will.
Way to go,
I see
Kurgan.
nothing.
You're too busy going, where's my damn dog? Why didn't he run away?
Eventually, Kudo will return.
Apprentice would like to use his professional skill, Dungeon Butcher, to try to appropriate parts for casting materials.
Well, Berenike successfully deduced something is odd about that, so...
Wow,
They don't
so did I.
normally tattoo their animals, do they?
You've not heard of it.
I'm
Does
gonna
this
give
have
a
claws?
Give a lengthy explanation in Nordheimer, which nobody understands.
They do have claws-ish, but they're not like talons. They're not like raptor claws.
Ooh, what if they were?
We'll chop off a finger for a trophy.
Why? You didn't do anything.
Yeah, you didn't kill it.
Took a spirit on behalf of the team.
What are you
Doesn't
talking
matter.
about?
You'll have your own claws and stuff like that in time.
That's true.
Besides, it smells really good. I want to eat it.
You are the trophy.
You're smelling good to me right now.
These creatures wouldn't be inherently magical. I mean, but I know that just by being able to sense if there's any magic in them.
There would be nothing in. They're not inherently magical, no.
Okay, thank you.
The spirits themselves are the magical part, I presume.
Yeah. You might sense that there's something with regards to Kurgan and Materius, but
Yeah, we're gonna have to put you 2 down.
you
Yeah,
already
now,
suspect that they're possessed anyway.
Paul's probably right about Kudo. Probably would pick up on it.
Eventually.
Kudo would probably start smelling the difference in Kurgan and be like, something's off with you. Plus the fact that he critically failed on the Wendigo. He probably has a innate fear for Wendigos now.
What are you talking about? He's halfway back to Velitrum?
No, he already said Kudo came back.
Well, he didn't say when. He said eventually.
He was hanging out at the brothel that Benike mentioned. It sounded good. So Kudo will return. What is the leader's orders?
Yeah, let's get back to the trail before more of these things come out here for Balder to kill.
You have about half an hour to an hour of light. Give those that have navigation can give me a roll.
Not great at it, but I will make the roll.
Both of you would know that you're not going to make it to the village before dark.
I think it's best if we find a place to camp.
Well, if we do that, we need to get away from these bodies. Let's go that way a bit.
Yeah, you will know that these beasts will be food for the other beasts that roam this area.
Survival woodlands?
If you have survival woodlands, you can make a roll, and if you're camping for the night, you can choose lines of sight, comfort, whichever.
Yeah, as long as I don't know if Paul's been here when we've done that before.
All right, so you'll look for a camp. So, Kurgan, make the survival woodland as you look for a camp.
Oh yeah, I have that. I only got it at 10 though.
All right, so with a successful roll, you can pick 2 of 3 options. One is comfort, one is lines of sight, and one is concealment. And this relates to your camp. If you don't have comfort for the night, you will wake -1 fatigue in the morning.
I'm gonna go with comfort and line of sight. The concealment, I have camouflage, so I can help to camouflage the sight myself.
All right. Lines of sight gives you, so if you've got people on watch, it means you have time. You will see them before they get to the camp. Concealment means, the camp is obviously concealed. People see it. So you're choosing lines of sight and comfort.
I'll change that. We'll do concealment and comfort.
All right. So if someone does find your camp, it means you don't have as much warning.
But it's harder for them to find us.
It's harder for them to find you, yes.
That's fine.
And then comfort. So, at the end of the day, you can scratch off 3 more of your meals.
We can hunt. This is woodland.
If you have enough time to make a survival roll to gather or forage. If you succeed that survival roll, then you will gather enough for 1 meal.
Yeah, we've only got a few days left of provisions that we've got so far, and we still got to make it back to the fort. So it's probably about time to start supplementing.
Or not.
Which doesn't necessarily happen right now.
All right, so...
yeah, he looked around and it's super quiet. There's no animals because, well, there were wendigos here. Makes sense.
So you'll find you will not be able to supplement any meals this evening. Throughout the night, it is relatively quiet, just the sounds of the forests or the jungles. But morning will break and you will all be fine. I guess Materius and Kurgan have a hankering for some steak.
I have some hankering for some steak.
It's just when they look at you guys,
damn it! No,
you kind of look like steak.
Do I have to start rolling bloodlust?
No.
All right, so we get back on the trail. So tracking again.
You can make a tracking roll.
What's our expectation about reaching the village at this
You'll
point?
get there before. You'll get there before so mid-morning.
Okay, so we're really almost there.
Correct.
Before we arrive at the village, I'd like to at least use my knowledge of cultural familiarity with the Picts to best describe to the group how to approach what sort of things you would do to appropriately come into the village.
Walk in the front.
Maybe we need to go Master Blaster so Apentius can do the talking and not look small.
Except for this voice, which gives me a -2 to my reaction rolls.
They might.
You will follow the tracks, and they indeed lead you to the Pict village. This is Hawk Village, and you are somewhat familiar with it. I'm sure those of you that have been here for a while have probably frequented this village on occasion, or maybe passed by it and just, checked it out to make sure that, all is well.
Not me.
Are you going to conceal your approach, or are you going to approach openly?
So is the trail that we've been following going straight into the village effectively?
Effectively. When you're close enough to the village, it becomes too difficult to follow the tracks as they begin to merge with, the normal comings and goings of the village. But it's almost, guaranteed that those tracks went to the village.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're here on some level of authority, so I'm not necessarily planning on sneaking in.
Balder's overconfident.
Unless somebody
so
advises otherwise.
Balder's overconfident, so he's all for just walking through the front.
Same with Materius.
I got it at 9, so I'm really overconfident.
All right, so no sneaking?
Today's not my day.
Your approach is then observed, and then you see that there's a scurry of activity in the village. And by the time you get to the gate, you will see that there are Picts that begin to approach with various wares like furs and stuff that they intend to trade. As you walk through, they'll thrust these in front of you. Those of you that can understand a little bit, they're basically saying, trade. Some of them will, point to things that you've got on your person, and they'll, indicate they want that for, offering some pelts or whatever it is they've got. You will see that there are, a number of people in the village, warriors, like tribal warriors and stuff, that hold back, and they will watch, very keenly, and you can see just by their, body language, it's obvious that you're not welcome here. They're looking at you like, you are obviously the occupiers of their land, and they don't want you here. They don't brandish any, weapons against you, but they do have their, spears and axes and stuff nearby.
Berenike is going to hold up a scrap of dress from the wagon and say something along the lines of, "Stolen woman, where are they?"
Give me a reaction roll.
Let's see, is diplomacy going to be any better than reaction? Diplomacy is going to be at a -3, so no, it won't be. Right, where is it? Brain. Do I have anything useful? I don't think I have anything useful here. Nope.
You may actually want to roll diplomacy, because they already react to you poorly. Because
it doesn't get any better. No,
because of who you are.
My chances at diplomacy are low enough; it's not going to matter.
All right, you don't want to try,
unless you
because
just feel like
diplomacy defaults. A failed diplomacy defaults to your reaction anyway.
I have diplomacy.
Yeah, but can you speak the language?
Broken.
Or know the culture? Technically, it should be -6.
You could roll a 3.
I would have to roll a 3.
Critical failure doesn't count. It just wasn't any good.
I'd say critical failure doesn't count because I wasn't going to make it in the first place.
I don't think you can critical fail diplomacy, right? You just, if you pass, it helps. If you don't, it doesn't.
It depends on whether or not it's an actual contest. If it's a contest, crit doesn't matter.
All right, so you're indicating trying to gesture, stolen woman. There is a you imagine is the, well, you've probably been here, so you would maybe recognize the person as being the sort of village chief.
Yeah.
He will step forward and he will sort of greet you in their way. You have no savoir-faire, so you're not familiar with the correct response other than, how.
Well, Apentius is given some pointers.
Does Apentius have savoir-faire?
No, but he has the cultural familiarity, so he knows.
All right, well, you you respond in a manner. You can sell.
Close as I can get.
You can see while they're going through the process of welcoming you, you are not welcome.
I expected as much.
The village chief just shakes his head and, in Pictish as best as you can understand through your broken understanding, is no woman.
I am going to attempt to communicate that we tracked them here. I think normally that would be the IQ minus the broken.
Before he tries that, Pentius realizes this is not going well, but I can see that Berenike is going to try. He's going to kind of press it, is he?
Well, he's not done yet, at least.
Well, if possible, I'd like to try to cast another incantation on Berenike.
Oh. Well, I may not see it to stop you.
Yeah, I'd like to try and cast Twist of Fate on Berenike, but as I do it, I'm going to come up sort of beside him and put my hand on his side, in the hopes somehow that you're going to know this is hopefully for your benefit, and you're not going to resist the damn thing.
Or elbow you in the face.
So we'll do the same thing we did again if you're in agreement there, GM.
Yep, that's fine. To answer that, Kudo can try tracking via smell, yes.
So this will be the roll to see if I successfully had attached it.
In the box or out in the open?
You can do it at the open.
It's +4 for discriminatory smell.
So plus 12 or plus 11. Success by 11.
Okay, so if you're going to continue tracking, then that's effectively performing it like a search of the village, which will have to be sort of okayed by Berenike.
He's a big boy.
Well, Kudo's kind of nosy. He starts sniffing around, and it's like, and probably if he catches wind of the dress or the smell of the women that he's been tracking, he'll probably start indicating the direction to Kurgan.
So you're just letting him do his thing.
All right. Well, you'll see that he starts reacting in such a way that he's picked up the scent.
I will indicate to Kudo to not follow the scent yet, and I'll whisper in Brinke's ear that the women are here.
The Pict chieftain will also notice that Kudo is behaving as such. He's obviously sniffing around.
I will now try to actually cast the incantation on Berenike.
Okay.
I'll let him do that first before I interrupt.
All right. So, what's the effect of this?
Okay, so it alters the target's immediate fate, protecting him from a single failure or injury for the next hour. When the target either fails a roll, takes damage, or suffers some other mishap, he can choose to trigger this effect, either to reduce a terrible injury to just 1 hit point, or to turn a failed roll into a success. However, critical failures are too severe to salvage.
Interesting.
That's bless. It's the equivalent of bless.
Does bless do that?
Yeah.
We never used that because I don't remember that.
That's the bless spell that's in GURPS Magic.
Yeah, I thought Mendel had used that at least once or twice, and I don't remember it working that way, but maybe that was different. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, so Berenike is going to notice the dog, and of course Kurgan is telling him that they're here, and notice the chief is looking at the dog like, ooh, and he's going to very, very, he's going to say, do you want to change your story now?
The chief continues, along the same line that he's been
The dog.
all
The
along.
dog says, "Yes, woman. Yes, woman."
So the chief says, "No, woman," and then he sort of points to you, "Go," pointing, back the way you came.
Okay, we're gonna have a look around and see if the woman's here. Maybe they snuck in. It might not be your fault.
He will. He shakes his head. "Go."
We're just gonna check over here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So you're giving Kudo permission?
Yeah, I'm waving at you, saying, "Go ahead."
So I'll indicate to Kudo to follow the scent.
We'll just be a minute.
So Kurgan, you and Kudo sort of push past the chief and his sort of bodyguards and such, and start following the scent. One of the Pictish women will sort of run out and stand in your way and begin to start pushing you back, yelling at you.
I think we're going to have to kill everyone in this village.
Meanwhile,
Someone should shout to the in Aquilonian for the if the women are here.
well, so I was going to recommend that Materius, who has a penetrating voice, and I know that he's really loud, why don't you call out to him and see if they'll answer?
That is super ironic that he has that.
So the other question is okay, so they're stopping Kurgan, but are they stopping Kudo?
No. She's just yelling, and she's speaking too fast for you to understand. You've only got broken.
Correct.
Yeah, she's speaking too fast for you to sort of catch a drift of what she's saying, but you can tell that she objects to you proceeding any sort of further, and she's like, pushing you back, sort of pounding on your chest, get away, not doing any damage, but she's not being...
I will hold my position. I won't let her push me back anymore, but I will continue to observe where Kudo goes.
All right. Kudo will walk off. Well, Kudo will stop, look back to you.
I'll indicate go ahead.
He will then continue, and you see he sniffs. You can see that the tensions in the place are clearly rising. The warriors, tribal warriors and such that were sort of standing around watching, you can see that they're getting ready for possible escalation. Instead of being as casual as they were, they're moving closer to their weapons, or they're getting better vantage points and stuff like that in case things get out of hand. You just pick that up as you see it, and you can see that you guys are outnumbered here as well.
Now, go ahead.
Kudo will sniff and will eventually come to one of the huts.
We actually had names for them, didn't we?
For the
girls.
Yes, you would have got
gave
names.
Us names. Yeah, so he did.
Girl
he
1,
did instruct.
Girl 2, Girl 3.
He did instruct
Girl 4.
Materius to call out for him. In the meantime, Berenike is going to continue talking to the chief as if nothing is really going wrong here, and he is going to, if it's allowed, try to make another diplomacy check, given that the situation has changed somewhat since we first arrived, and basically start saying like, see, if we find them here and we take them home, then there's really no problem. But if we find them, if they're here and we can't leave with them, then the army has to come back here. You know the army, right? They're going to come in here and they're going to burn everything, and it's just going to be a mess.
You want to do that as intimidation or diplomacy?
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking of it more along a diplomatic line, not as a threat, but as a look. We don't want to go back and go get the army and do all this crap. That would be sad. Everybody would hate that. The village would suffer. I don't know. It's up to you whether you consider that intimidation or
So
diplomacy.
it's sort of an intimidate, but
It kind of is, but it kind of not.
Let's do a diplomacy roll complemented by intimidation, if you have it.
I can live with that. Okay, so that then will barely
you
succeed.
tried.
And the diplomacy will probably fail on the surface, but I'm going to declare that a success.
Okay, you can see, the face of the chieftain is all screwed up.
Coins for him. Call it a finder's fee.
You know that the Picts don't really value money and stuff. They value like steel weapons, steel knives, swords, things like that, or items that can be useful. So coins, money doesn't really interest them, other than if it's shiny, they might turn it into jewelry or something.
Yeah, I don't know that I have anything to trade with, and I don't think we took anything from the cart.
I don't think anything's left in the cart.
Well, they took all the things that they found valuable from the cart and left other stuff, which included the money. I think that wasn't mentioned last session, but yeah, the money that was on these persons was also located.
Well, the attempt here isn't necessarily to buy them back, just to say we traded. I might actually be willing to give up my knife just to seal it.
So Kudo will stop in front of one of the huts. The chief, there's venom in the way that he sort of looks at you. He then will submit, and he steps aside, allowing you to sort of pass. The woman continues to beat and push back Kurgan. Is not interested, despite what the chief is doing, she doesn't want Kurgan to keep going forward, and she's just
Kurgan
yelling and
has
screaming.
pacifism,
It's
so
she's almost hysterical in her sort of pushing and stuff.
Kurgan does have pacifism, so unless she becomes enemy to him, he's not going to do anything necessarily to harm her, but he's not going to let her just push him back either.
Have any of the girls responded to their names being called?
No.
But after Kudo stops at the hut and indicates that this is the hut where the smell ends, Kurgan will beckon him back, and basically Kurgan will look over his shoulder and kind of point to the hut, looking at Brinky, indicating
Balder
that's the
will
hut.
go to the hut.
Yeah. Berenice will give you the two eyes point.
So Balder's going to the hut?
Yep.
As soon as Balder steps forward and steps past Kurgan, the hysterical woman will start pushing him. Except,
good luck with that.
She's no obstacle to Balder at all. You can just keep walking, and she can't stop you.
She's like holding on to him, and he's just dragging her.
Can I get perception rolls into the box, please? These are vision based.
Sorry. I'll do it in the box.
What's in the box?
Okay. So, Balder, you push past the woman, and she tries to hold you and resist. You will get to the hut. It is like a hide flap door. So, are you entering?
I'm gonna flip the thing up with the haft of the axe. I'm not gonna just wander into a hut unseen.
All right, so you will flip it up. You will look in, and inside the hut, you will see there is a male tribesman. There is a very young girl, probably around about 5, in the hut. The male has a spear and has it pointed towards one of the women, sort of keeping her sort of quiet. You see spears pointed at her, and she will see you. There's relief in her eye. Doesn't matter.
There's a leaf in her eye.
Relief in seeing you, but she's obviously still at spear point and is just sitting quietly, terrified.
And he's just going to, say, let her go, and give the lady a glare too.
All right, do you step in?
Probably not, because it's a freaking small. It's a hut made for normal sized people. I go in there, my head's gonna be, scraping the. I'm gonna have to be crouched over. But I'll definitely call back to Berenike, with a found one.
Actually, did you say there was only one of them in there? Or?
There was only one, yes.
Okay.
That'll give you a better overview of the village. Obviously, you
that
can't.
looks like a tackle map.
Well, who knows? You might start a fight.
It's all hexed and everything, like we were supposed to fight them or something.
But yeah,
okay, just the one.
So this is the hut that you enter, or that you're looking into. There is just the one. You attempt to intimidate the guy that has the spear at the woman, and he will reluctantly lower the spear. The woman that has been trying to stop your progress, she will run into the hut. She will grab some stuff and begin sort of thrusting it. She sort of thrusts it into your belly, like, as an offering, like a trade. And she's, pointing to the stuff that she's, giving you, and pointing back to the woman, like, trade this for the woman.
He's gonna ignore her and gesture to the girl, to the woman. It's like, come.
Kurgan's gonna look back at Berenike and say, "Do we know if these women might have been taken from this village?"
She can speak.
Are you with me, or are you?
You said you were following
are
me.
you
Well,
at the
true.
hut?
Yeah, I'd be like, maybe I'm looking at Balder. It's like, are you? Or actually, I'll look at the woman and I'll probably be like, "Are you Pictish?"
No, she's definitely not Pictish.
Where others?
The woman will, carefully get up and sort of does a wide arc around the dude with the spear. The dude's no longer holding the spear, threatening towards her. He's sort of put the spear up and he's standing there. Your presence is definitely unwelcome. It's pretty tense. The woman is, frantically trying to offer things to you in order to keep the woman. I'm assuming that you're ignoring her.
I'm mostly ignoring her. I am keeping an eye on her in case, make sure she doesn't try to stab me with a kniff.
Kurgan will talk to the woman and say, "No offer. Woman only."
While they're doing that, as Balder called back and said that there was only Balder called back and said there was only the one, Berenike is going to turn to the chief and hold up three women. It was 3, wasn't it?
It was 3, yes.
4. Okay, never mind. We can ask the girl that I'm coming back with. Where are the others?
Okay, so the woman will get up and she will sort of
The others were totally the apes that we killed.
Uh,
That would be funny, but unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Hasn't been that long.
Wibbly
So,
wobbly, timey wimey.
the harlot, or Tiberius's harlot, will once she's clear of the Picts in the hut, she will run past Boulder, and who looks like the most safe person to sort of hide behind.
Probably Balder.
he makes a perfectly good wall.
And he is attractive.
All right, so Boulder is, strong and
Really
powerful.
big.
So she will, in Conan style, sort of fall at your feet.
Stand. Where's the others?
She says, "I don't know where they are."
Brought
It is
here?
about this time. It is about this time that who was it on the roll? Kurgan, in a clearing, maybe 200, 150, 200 yards
Wow.
from the village, you will catch a glimpse of a Pictish boy, maybe in his early to mid-teens, running. So he's running down a track, and then he sort of disappears into the woods.
I'll make
You should run after him. Maybe he's tasty.
I'll head over to Berinki and I'll mention that.
So there's a kid in a field and he ran away.
Yeah, he's clearly running to let the slave traders know.
The woman says she doesn't know where the others are.
Who brought you here?
Um,
Yeah, he's presuming she's gonna point to someone here, but the player's gonna presume that that person's already left, or persons.
all right, so she will look around and
back to the
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
Okay.
she'll sort of look around, and you can see that she says, "Not here. They're not here."
Okay. So Berenike will turn back to the chief and say something along the effect of, "Did you buy her?"
The chief will stand quietly for a moment. He'll look around and you can see that some of the tribal warriors have sort of moved a little closer, and they're
totally grinning at him.
They're trying to be, intimidating. The chieftain doesn't reply. He just gives you a, you've got your woman, now piss off sort of look.
I think we should follow that boy. He might have been heading towards the rest of the caravan.
Well, Berenike's not done with the questioning, I suppose. He'll ask again, "Did you buy her? Who did you buy them from?"
Ring army.
We had 3 women.
He just sort of holds his finger up, says, one woman. Well, that's big.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, lock token. That's what it is.
Right.
There you go.
Is there something going on?
Oh, I was just relocating
on
the map, the walking dude into the village.
So the chief goes, "One woman, you go now."
We'll turn to Kurgan and say, "Is Kudo picking up any of the others here? Is it just this one?"
Did we have clothes for the others?
I presume there's stuff. Hard to say.
So looking at Kudo with his tracking roll of a 9, did he pick up the scent of any of the other ones?
Well, at this point, he's only responded to the scent of this one.
So
you could, of course, search the other buildings.
Yeah. So, guess I could look at Kudo and say, track.
And he's gonna look at you like you're crazy because he found her.
Do you smell any more?
What's that, Lassie? Timmy's falling down the well.
So you're going to tell Kudo to start going around the village?
He is nosy. So yeah, he'll start sniffing again.
All right, so he will start sniffing randomly around the place. This will take some time.
While he does that, Bernick is going to say, so he's not going to find anything, right? This is the only one.
The chieftain's getting a little bit aggressive, and he's saying, it's time for you to leave.
I agree. We should go to Fort Tuscan and bring the army down here.
Knowing, Kurgan knowing Kudo well enough, and if he's not giving any real indication that he's sniffing anything, after a bit, he will call him back and say, yeah, I think we may want to follow that boy that ran into the woods. I know that the other two women aren't here.
So the chieftain is getting annoyed that you're not complying with his request.
Well, so did Kudo basically come up empty here?
Well, he's walking around the place, sniffing the ground. It'll take him a little while before he picks up a scent and can follow it.
But with knowing where the kid ran off to, maybe that will help him to indicate.
Well, you saw the kid some 150, 200 yards. You just caught a glimpse of him running down the track in this clearing before he disappeared into trees.
I don't know, guys. You want to go check and see if the slavers went that way, or?
I think we should before we start a fight.
What direction was that? The kid, in what direction? Is
Say
it
that
north,
way?
south?
On the map?
Is it
in that
further
direction?
Into Pict territory, or is it?
That's.
You entered sort of that way.
You're pointing on the map again, aren't you?
Of the village.
Well, I'm thinking in terms of the Joara province map. Like, was he running in the direction of like the wolf village? Because we probably need to take the girl to Tuscan. We don't want to tote her around while we're adventuring through the woods.
Well, that depends, I guess. But yeah, I'm assuming so. The kid, we did not see the kid across the river. Is that true?
Not across the river.
Okay. So he's on this side of the river.
Correct.
And is that track that we saw, A, is that the track that we came down?
No, it's not.
B, is that track pointing somewhere that we know of?
It's following the river a little bit.
So kind of the same direction, but not the same track. Okay,
right.
Fine. So I'm going to assume at this point that Kudo's looking a little indecisive and say, let's go ahead and wrap this up, and we can see what we can find outside the village.
So not searching the village? You call Kudo back?
Yes.
We could, if someone else is still in the village, we could probably pick it up outside the village just as easily. So we'll give it a shot. See if we need to come back later. If we need to come back later, we may need help.
I'm telling you, we should just go to the fort. Let them know that hey, they attacked that caravan you sent us for. They stole some of the girls. We retrieved one of them in Hawk Village.
Well, if that kid out there was actually running interference for slavers, then
it's time to exterminate these villages.
It's not inconceivable that whoever picked him up stopped here, sold one, and then moved on to the next village or whatever.
That's what I'm presuming happened.
Yeah.
Epentius has cultural familiarity of Picts, right? So he understands that they value women and they won't harm them.
They won't necessarily. Well, they can harm them. They can treat them poorly and stuff like that. But things like rape, which is quite common amongst you guys, is not common amongst the Picts.
What do you mean, you guys?
You're soldiers. You're barbarians. There's raping and pillaging going on all the time.
There kind of is. So Bernice will say thank you for your assistance. Your cooperation will be noted with the commander or the local governor or whatever is appropriate here.
And I'm totally confused because I'm thinking, what cooperation? These civilized people, man. You should just cleaved head no longer plots.
Yeah, cleaved head also doesn't work the land.
So you bring in your own heads.
Kerrigan will ask Berinky if he can start looking ahead for tracks in the direction where the boy went.
Yeah, let's go out to the front of the village where we first followed him in here, see if we can pick up a trail leaving.
Come along.
All right, so that's going to be really difficult because, like I said, you sort of lost the trail as it began to merge with the comings and goings of the villages.
Yeah, no, that's true, but we do have a starting point, that being the direction that kid was. So we can at least sort of get out a little bit from the village and start poking around over there. It's probably going to take a while.
All right, so you will leave the village. As you exfil, you'll be indirectly escorted out by the the warriors and stuff as they sort of follow you out, and you can see that they'd quite happily, scalp you and such if they had the opportunity.
That's why I wear a helmet. Donk donk.
But you are definitely not liked.
Well, we're not here to be loved.
You will go to where the clearing where the kid was, and you'll begin tracking. You do indeed see some fresh tracks from moccasined feet of, a teenage boy.
Start following the tracks in the direction that I saw the kid running.
The women we were looking for were barefoot. Is that true?
The women were barefoot, yes.
Okay.
Are you dragging this woman along with you?
Well, I don't really have any choice.
All right, then she has attached herself to Boulder, being the big, strong hero that saved her.
Now, we will keep trying to get some more information from her, like when they got here, what happened, how did it work, what did she hear?
She will tell you that...
Let's start with asking what her name is.
What's her name?
Yeah, which one are you?
You tell me her name.
I'm not the GM.
Did the GM actually give us names?
No, the GM didn't give you names.
Her name is Una.
Una? All right, so...
Una Flux.
Una. Well, she identifies herself. I'm Una.
You have no idea what
Dos
that is,
or tres are still missing.
Maybe you do. What would that be? Be Dua and Tria?
Yeah, that works. Dua and Treya.
Right, so, story.
So she will tell you that the Tiberius's wagon was attacked by a group of Picts. There was 5 of them. They slaughtered the guards and took them prisoner. They were she was taken here to this village, and she was left here. Once she was put into the hut, she doesn't know what happened to the others, and she doesn't know if they're in this village or not.
So, where did they separate the girls?
So, in the village. So they all came into the village. Let's see. She will tell you as far as she could tell. The Picts that came here were not of this village. The way that they talked and communicated and such just gave her the impression that they were not from this village. So they were all brought here. She was then handed off to the people in the hut that you found her in. and that's the last she saw of the others.
Did they take anything in exchange, or did they just hand her off?
6 by 7. She wasn't really paying attention, but she believes that there was probably some stuff exchanged. They did talk a lot.
Right. Fair enough. And so she has no idea which way they went.
No.
Well, that's a start.
Well, we have tracks for the boys, so we'll be tracking him at this point.
All right. So you will follow the tracks for the boy. You're going to take the woman with you. She will hover around Boulder.
He's okay with that.
Every time you sort of stop, she will drape herself around your feet in, true Conan style, because, I don't know, that's what they do.
More and more, Balder's got...
Is it Comic Conan or Frazetta Conan? Because she's far too dressed to be Frazetta Conan.
Well, she's a harlot, and as the further you go along with her clothes become, skimpier and skimpier, and she's like suitably.
Well, it's pretty hot down here.
She's not taking anything off or anything. It's just, each scene, it's a little bit different.
Disintegrating clothing, I get it.
So you will follow the trail, and eventually you will follow this trail to the bank of the river, and you will give me perception rolls. Vision based, not in the box. I just need one success. That's enough successes. So
Clearly, we know what I'm looking at.
So Black River is a large, slow-flowing river. You will scan the river's edge, and you will see there are some canoes on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have authorization to cross the river, do we? Plus, that's probably a stupid idea since that's all theirs and they're forced.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky. Well,
I think we're gonna have to head to Fort Tusculum and report this.
Yep.
I'm kind of in agreement at this point. We can't take her with us across the river, definitely, even if we were going there ourselves. And to be fair, the other women are probably going to be, I don't know, married off. They'll still be alive.
If they're heading to a village, more than likely, they might be heading to Wolf Village.
Yeah, stands to reason. Yeah,
Time for reprisal raids.
Yeah, we need to head back to the fort. Probably just follow the river up, I presume. I think that's going to be shorter or faster. Not necessarily.
So that's the agreed. So heading to Fort Tusculum, right?
Yeah, whoever's got the best area knowledge around here can decide whether we're following the river or trying to skirt around the wood line here.
All right, so fail by 3. You will know that the fort is north on the river. You're not too sure how the terrain is. Likewise, you know that the fort is north on the river, but you're not familiar with tracks and stuff like that. You know that you will have to cross South Creek on your way there,
Mm-hmm.
and you're half a day.
Do you want me to make a curiosity roll check when I see those canoes?
For what in particular?
Well, it says I'm naturally very inquisitive, and
If you're curious,
and if I have to make a self-control roll when presented with an interesting item or situation.
Well, there is canoes. It's up to you whether you are curious enough to want to investigate them.
How wide did
But
you say this
they're
river
on
is?
the other side of the bank, though.
The river's quite wide, so you're looking at maybe 50 to 100 yards.
Well, maybe I'm not that curious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's interesting. We don't have a boat, so carry on.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Would love to. I would love to check it out, but that's a long swim for me.
So, yeah, with our navigation rolls, I won't call it success. What's our guesses as to how soon we can get to the fort from here?
You imagine
This
half
is
a day to a
this
day.
is a known village, so yeah, okay, that was the estimate.
The location of Wolf Village is not exactly known. You know it's there somewhere, but because it's on the other side of the river, except for those scouts that have, broken the rules and entered the neutral zone, you don't know exactly where it is. It's not like charted, unlike Bear, Raven, and Hawk Village.
Need to go back, report this, and arrange some reprisal raids. You do those down here, right?
Oh yeah, whenever we get the opportunity.
Where would your reprisal raids go
Yes.
to?
That's decision for higher up. Yeah, so on the way. Off we go.
All right, so you will head north. You expect to be at Tusculum before nightfall. So you can give me a navigation roll. This will, obviously, you're going to find the fort because you just follow a river, but this will determine.
Well, I failed to assist.
Good God, people.
It's north. I know it's up there somewhere.
Is she watching? Is Melissa watching? Is that what's going on here?
She's
We're just
projecting.
Stop with the voodoo.
So by the time that you get to the fort, it is dark. So you travel the last bit to Tusculum, in the sort of dusk light.
Probably having to mostly carry Uno on my back.
And you will see, as you sort of follow the river, you will see there's every so often there is canoes on the bank of, or the eastern bank of Black River, and the canoes have been deliberately concealed. So, branches and stuff they've been lifted out of the water and then concealed under branches and stuff. And you will see a couple of these locations along the river on your way back to Tusculum.
It's a shame we don't have a map we can mark that on.
With navigation rolls like that, your positions that you mark would be way off.
It'll still be on the river.
I guess you guys would have potentially have a very basic map. It's just like lines where the rivers are, where key locations are.
Actually, that's something we can do with the Pentius at some point, is get him a damn map. Does he have cartography? Does he do any of that?
I don't have cartography. I just have scribe. But I'm sure it could default.
Yeah, you could write an itinerary at least.
No, actually, I think cartography defaults to engineering or something. I'll look it up. Defaults, IQ -5, geography, mathematics, surveying -2, or any navigation at -4. Oh, hey, I could default that. Although I can't read, so.
I think his default might be better.
Yeah, actually, it'd be, because he's got like an IQ of 14, so his default is a 9, and mine would be 7.
I would be 8.
Yeah, we're not great at making maps.
So you will arrive at Fort Tusculum just after dusk. The last bits of light disappear from the sky, and you see the lights of the fort. The fort is a very very much like a old west fort, wooden fort. You've got a wooden palisade that surrounds the fort. There's no moat or anything like that, but it is sort of within sort of sight of the river bank, the bank of Black River. When you approach, the gates will be shut.
Because it's dark.
It's only a muddle.
No, this is the 2022. It could be a CG now.
No, it's true. Tiberius told me. He said, Uno is my favorite. Oh, here we are. And the doors are closed. Knock, knock.
Well, as you approach the gate, you will see some silhouettes peer over the the gates at you. Do you guys? You don't have any special reputation or anything like that, so you're not immediately recognized. Let's see.
We are the Phoenix Cohort. Surely you've heard of us. No?
What is something that they would use to identify you?
I
Do
thought
we
we
look
do
like
have a
bloody
signal,
Pict?
Oh, you got the midget with you.
and we
That's
do have
true.
One of them will shout out, "What's the little one's name?"
Your mom!
It's Epentious. Open the damn door, please.
You see one of the guards says, "Do we let him in?" And the other
If you
guard
don't
says,
want him to freeze your balls off.
the other guard, you can see that they're debating. The other guard looks over and says, "But the gates are shut. It is after dark. The gates should stay shut."
Then I can't buy you a drink.
Do you have to report to the commander about potential incursions? I mean, we did just see all those canoes on the way.
That's right. We have important business with the commander.
We all have
Must see him
important
right
business
away.
with the commander. But I'm more interested in those drinks.
Only said one. Singular.
You hear the other guard shout out, "I thought you said two. I'm pretty sure I heard two."
I only said one. That doesn't mean there couldn't be two.
You see the guy calls down to the whoever opens the gate. He says, "Did you hear two or did you hear three drinks?"
It was definitely only one and maybe a two.
He will call out. He says, "What's an Aquilonian name?" He says, "Gunter here says that there was three." And you can tell now they're just being jerks.
Yeah, well, I can't buy him anything till I get paid anyway. So,
Well, Kurgan's got some money. Be like,
well, that's up to him.
"Berenke, guys, open the gates. Round of drinks on me."
You will hear the bolt or the what's it called? The block?
The
Bar?
The bar? Whatever that's called. I'm sure it has a proper name.
I think it's just a bar.
The bar is lifted from the gate, and the gate is open, and you can see there's some guards there chuckling because they've been an inconvenience.
The tolls around here are getting ridiculous.
You better be good for those drinks.
As soon as I get paid, fellas. As soon as I get paid.
So you will all step through, and the gates will then be shut behind you,
And the dead
and they
keep them.
and the guards are, or the guard at the gate calls up to the top. The gate is shut, and you find yourselves in the fort.
Totally
Remember-
need to tell them, be wary. We saw many boats.
Remember, the Griffin Company owes you beers.
Griffin?
Yeah.
Phoenix.
That's what I said.
Phoenix
No,
Company.
it's Griffin.
Is the GM confused or are they?
Did you not call yourselves the Phoenix Company?
I may have.
But it's Griffin.
Well, they're saying, "Phoenix, we know who you are. We're not that stupid."
Well, you never know. You can't tell the smart ones from the dumb ones.
Well, next time I see you in the bar, I'll get you a drink.
And you never go back to the bar.
All right, so once you're in the fort, what are you doing?
The guards to be wary.
Yeah, we will go ahead and let them know that, but we'll probably go straight to talk to the commandant, assuming he's available.
If you
Some of us will, at least.
If you pass that information on to the guards that you have seen some stuff, they will reply and say everything's been quiet. We've seen no activity across the river. Even the drums have been silent for the last couple of nights.
That means they're plotting.
And we did see a lot
They're
of
always plotting.
a lot of concealed canoes on the way up here from Hawk Village.
They'll say, what can they do?
Apparently they can steal women. And that, my friend, is unacceptable.
Aye. So, you're going to go to the commander?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I will go make a report. At least I would like to have my lieutenant.
We've got a lieutenant?
You have a lieutenant?
That's
He's
Harriet.
quiet, but he is present.
But he's not quiet. He's got like penetrating voice and stuff.
When he speaks loudly.
There we go. Yeah.
Just not often.
All right, so 2 are
Also,
going to
he's
the
turning
commander.
into a horrible flesh-eating monster.
You have your chain of command is Captain.
Is this not where we were assigned?
Yes, this is where you are assigned.
We didn't start here. We started in Qunyara.
Yes, but this is where you're actually operating out of.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So
whoever.
So this is your Captain Abras is your basically your CO. He manages all the rangers, and then the actual fort commander is Governor Valnus.
I will report to the captain and let him decide what to do about that, which may or may not include a reprisal raid.
So the captain, you will find him drinking in the hall, in the mess hall. Is it just yourself and Materius that's going?
No, it just occurred to me that we probably do need to take Una there.
Yeah, at the very least.
And if she's like hanging all over Balder, then he's gonna have to take her.
And
You're
Balder
her
found this
hero.
necklace.
Kurgan would probably follow too. Come along.
So that's basically everybody.
All right, so it's been, we determined it's been a couple of weeks since you've been back. So you've been out on patrols and stuff. So Captain Abras will raise a glass to you, or his mug. He'll toast and say, "Ah, you're still alive. Welcome back."
Sadly, yes.
Unfortunately, that means you're probably going to need to get paid.
Sadly, yes.
Aye. There's ale that needs to be consumed.
So, what do you have to report? And then he looks to Boulder and says, Did you get married, Boulder? I didn't think you the type.
No.
Long story, that one. And I will go into it.
Right, so you fill him in on all the details?
Including the ones the players are not privy to from the previous time period.
Huh?
Said it was a couple of weeks. We were out on patrol.
So, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So he will listen intently and he will say, Look, I would send you across the river and find out what's happened to the others, yet they are probably lost to Wolf Village, so I'll leave it to yourself, but it would have to be cleared with the governor first. Do you wish to become heroes and save the women? Or not?
Well, since you put it that way.
It is completely up to you, my friend.
There are a lot of Picts over there, aren't they? That would be an epic battle.
Aye, it would be. But you would be outnumbered.
But they would be outclassed. Ha ha ha!
Right. So I'm trying to think.
If you do not want to go after them, then we don't need to bring this to the governor.
We got the mission from Quinyara, the
merchant.
commandant there. He sent us to the merchant to find out what happened. So we still haven't. Well, technically, we know what happened to him, so we could send a report back. We may need to make an arrangement for that. And so technically, we've done what our mission was. We didn't get a mission to actually recover him, just to find out what happened.
Well, you would have recovered the money that was... I'm assuming that you would have taken the money and...
Yeah, if it was
they
there.
left the money there?
Yeah, the Picts did.
Yeah.
I thought you just said they didn't.
No,
they left.
Picts took all the gear, but they left the money.
Oh. How much money was it? Not that I'd be
We'd
able to count it.
We'd let the dice decide that.
One too many lots. I can't count. I'm innumerate, so I don't know how much it was.
You can probably count to 10 because of the fingers. That's probably about it.
One too many lots.
There is roughly 700 GURPSes
700
worth.
what? GURPSes. So it's not that much.
Depends on how honest you are, whether you declare that you picked it up or not.
I don't care.
Or took it as your
money.
fee.
Okay. Well, we can potentially have a runner send that back to Tiberius with, or actually we could. Actually, I don't know how much we trust Una. Regardless,
Probably
we can
not much
figure
at
out
all.
an arrangement for that.
Do you produce the money to Abris?
Yeah, it's up to everybody else whether or not it's short.
I'm looking over my discs to see if I have anything that would trigger borrow.
I am not
of that.
honest, so I could.
I am honest, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I care enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I'm selfless, but I don't see how that's relative in this particular situation.
Well, I would say if you're selfless, you're probably not going to take it from somebody else, at least.
So at this point, not short?
Being selfless, he would take it for another. He would take it, but he wouldn't take it for himself.
He might
He'd
give it to somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be short.
Okay, well, we are gonna put that up then.
Particularly since I was probably the one carrying the damn thing.
So this,
all right, so
get a finder's
this belongs to Tiberius, as does the woman.
So Abris will sort of look in the bag. You see he starts reaching in and he's like grabbing some coins. He'll take those out of the bag and he sort of counts them in his hand. And he puts them in front of Benike and will say, consider it a bonus. I'll see to it that the rest makes its way back to Tiberius.
Thank you, sir.
And you get the feeling that probably none of it's going to make it back to Tiberius, but
probably not. He
will close up the pouch and slide it into his jacket. He says, so, do we need to speak to the...
He's got a spiffy-looking eye patch.
Yeah.
There's an eye patch upgrade.
Yep.
So he says, do we need to speak to the governor? Or...
I think we need closure on this one. I think we need to find out what happened to the other two women. Una would be devastated without Dua and Tria. And of course,
she's obviously
they were Tiberius' favorites.
She's just draped off Boulder at the moment, and then you mention her name, it sort of gets her attention, and she goes, "What?"
I was just saying you were Tiberius' favorite.
Yes.
So yes, I think we should at least ask about authorization.
All right. One more round then.
Ha-ha!
And I will pass out the bonus.
So he will call over one of the cadets and order rounds of drinks for the group. You'll drink, you'll chat. You can succumb to your compulsive carousing if you wish, or you can choose to not party. Given that you've been out for 2 weeks, I think there should be penalties to that role.
I'm chummy.
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, I suspect he's probably gonna wander off with Una for a while.
Yeah, I was about to say, what does Tiberius usually charge for her? You pay her out of his own bag of money.
What bag of money?
Damn it!
You get
Oh,
the feeling that this one's on the house for Boulder.
How much was that bonus, by the way?
So 50 apiece.
50 GURPS.
Yes.
Done.
I think they are Aquilonian dragons is the coin.
By tomorrow morning, mine's all gone.
So you'll have a round or two of drinks. Boulder, you disappear and enjoy your time with Una.
Yep.
Captain Abris says, all right, we best see the governor before it gets too late.
Aye. Let me go get washed up.
And just as we get there, the Picts attack.
Wahaha.
So Abris will walk with Benike, and if anyone else is going, or anyone else is ordered to go, ordered to go.
I'll dismiss everybody, but Mysterious.
Benike's been here for how long?
He had been here for a while. I think it was like 3 months.
All right, so Valanis will actually know you by name. So
What's
you will.
The population of this fort?
It's like 150-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Far from its prime. At its peak, there was several hundred.
Whatever you do, do not mention the governor's sister. Just say it.
So, you will get an audience with the governor. The governor is currently having his dinner. The captain comes in and says, "Excuse me, governor. Did not mean to interrupt you at your dinner." And the governor just says, "It's okay, Abris. What news?" Abris will then sort of give a brief summary of your report. And he'll say, Benike would like to take an expedition across the river to see if he can find out, recover the other 2 women. And the governor will think, and he says,
"Nope, get out. You're fired."
He says, "Are you sure? That will be dangerous and you'll be on your own. You won't have any help from the garrison."
I think we're just the crew to do it, sir.
I see.
We'll return with our shields or on them.
He turns to Abris and he says, "And do you speak for these? Are they capable of doing what they need to do without causing further incident?" Abris will sort of look to Benike, and he'll then turn back to the governor and says, "They'll do a good job. I trust their ability. He commands a good troop. One of my better rangers." So
And
then,
PCs.
plus their PCs. Valanis will take a big swig of his wine and says, "Very well, do what you got to do. Just try not to start a war."
We will be subtle.
Oops. What is this subtle that you speak of?
Apentius used that word once. I kind of liked how it sounded.
Subtle.
If there's nothing else, then you are dismissed.
Sir.
And you will be escorted out. You are then sort of free to do whatever you want. Abris tells you that he intends to go back and finish what he had started this evening.
And I'll discuss it with the crew and see what we need to do about it.
Of course, you plan this mission on your own terms. The fort does have a number of canoes that have, come into the fort's possession over.
What are you talking about?
Over
There's
time?
plenty of them. We know where plenty of them are.
Yeah, we may need to discuss getting paid so we can get our provisions. We don't have a purser yet.
Abras will say, what is it you need?
Well,
The coffers are not bottomless, but I can certainly make arrangements for some supplies if you need.
well, I'll report in the morning.
Not too early.
Not too early. We've been out for a while. I, for one, may sleep 2 days at least.
All right. So, is there anything anyone in particular wants to do at present?
Pentius is going to want to find a place to go and at least do 2 incantations to fill up his slots.
All right. Well, you'll have your quarters in the barracks that you could go to, but there will be others in there, so it won't be completely secluded or anything.
I'll do my best to, because I'm very fast at what I do. I'll do my best.
Well, as far as you know, we're not in a big hurry right now. My plan is to let everybody sleep, and then we'll probably get everybody up in the morning and do a round table about mission planning.
How much do people drink at night or that night? Well,
Fair bit.
the question is, how hungover are you in the morning?
Not none.
Little more than slightly, not less than, or not more than blackout.
Turget has
Pentius
alcohol
is
intolerance,
sharp as a
so 1 or 2, and that's it.
Sometime during the night too. On the change of guard rotation, those that were on the gate will come to collect. In terms of drinks, each drink for just the cheap ale is 1 GURPS. Scratch off whatever number of GURPS that you drank during the night. And someone has to cough up 3 drinks if you're going to honor the arrangement at the gate.
I'll pay out the 5. I'll do 5 GURPS off myself, 3 for the guards, and 2 for myself.
I spent some of that. Let me rephrase that. I spent money. Some of it may have gone to them.
All right. Well, reduce your money as you see fit. Come the morning, I guess you will rouse everyone from their beds. I'm assuming Boulder will have an extra in his bed this evening.
But not in the morning. I don't have any money left.
And that's probably a good place to leave it. The A-team will assemble in the morning unless there's something specifically that you want to sort of go over.
Nope.
No. We may end up discussing that a bit offline just to kind of get an idea, but
I think we're all going to die. It's going to be glorious.
Offline, we can talk a little bit about the stuff I would have to do to prepare these castings.
Yep. We could do it. We could just assume, provided you've spent or had enough time to do the castings, we could just handle it like we have been. So make the roll to see if it worked, if you managed to bind it to your aura, and then make your spell roll. That way we don't need to pre-roll anything.
Right. It's according to Incantation's book, it's the need for a special workspace in order to actually do this.
So what's the special workspace involved?
Let me drop it into chat.
Because you might have to arrange with someone, maybe the quartermaster. You can request a special room in the warehouse or the stores room where you can set up your little stuff, and you pay him a little bit and he gives you some privacy. Let you keep your stuff there.
Sure. It basically, the rule just says you need a special workplace it adds $30 a week to the normal cost of staying in a town. Or the GM can allow the incanter to rent better facilities, workrooms worth $150 a week, or sorry, $150, $150 a week gives a +1, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, if you're good with me working out something with the quartermaster, that's fine.
Okay. But does it not go into any details about what it actually is, or it just says workspace?
It's basically without a workspace. When I go to prepare my spells to attach them, I'm going to be at a -5. So I really need a workspace. I need a place to, as the GM said, to kind of set myself up.
How long do those last?
They last.
If it's like the hanging stuff, they're there until he casts them or overwrites them with a different one.
Yeah, I don't think they have a time limit per se once they're attached to me.
How many can you do?
26.
Well,
That sounds.
I guess it could be worse off. Can you take extra time on that?
Ben had something like that. I think it was around 26. I have to look.
I know normally you can't take extra time on spell casting.
So for instance, if I were to rent workrooms versus just having a workspace, that gives me a +1 on my rolls. While if I spent even more money, again, according to these rules, it would give me a +2. So they kind of have it broken down into like, are you renting good space to get a bonus, basically?
So you wouldn't have access to good space. Space is a premium in the fort, but you can arrange with the quartermaster. In the storehouse, you have a little corner where you can keep your stuff. It won't get touched, and whenever you need it, you can, set up in that little corner and do your thing. So it won't be a proper workroom, but it'll be a space that, you move a few boxes and kegs around, and then you've got your space again. You do your thing, and then you put your stuff away.
Well, that works for me. I'm not looking for a bonus here. I just need to have some space to at least.
You just don't want -5.
That's right.
And this is something that you've arranged with the quartermaster. So you give him bribes, basically.
Happy to do so.
He trusts that you don't steal shit while you're there, though.
Happy to do so.
Every now and then,
is probably the one keeping the records anyway.
Every now and then, he does check to make sure nothing's missing.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, I could basically help him write up his records.
Yeah, if you help him do paperwork, he helps you have your space.
Too easy.
Right.
All right. So we shall leave it there. Everyone will get 2 points. Materius and Kurgan feel just a little bit different this morning. Maybe it's the hangover.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out.
Hangovers do that. Yeah.
Well, with Kudo's discriminating smell, he's probably going to start.
It'll be fine.
He's probably going to start smelling a difference in Kurgan over time and be like,
He's going to become my ally.
Eventually, you'll go wild. You'll just charge out into the woods.
That's presuming we don't whack him first.
You should probably do that early. Do it sooner than later. Put him out of his misery.
It's for his own
Agreed.
good.
but
Crunch.
is Baldur completely immune to these spirits now, or
No.
do they?
The spirits only get one shot at possessing you.
He is
at
immune
a
to the
time.
one that's in you. He is not immune to the one that is from Immaterius.
Aha. So are we going to start with this curse? Is this are we eventually going to start feeling like stronger cravings over time? Like every day there's something new?
Might get a
Well-
little nibbly once we start taking out some baddies.
Probably not every day, but slowly there'll be change.
Do you have a thing for that?
The traits that you will develop are
Evil traits.
you will eventually develop +2 arm strength, +3 striking strength, berserk, bloodlust, your sense of smell, or you'll have discriminatory smell. You become ham-fisted. Your night vision will improve, and you will also heal faster. But then you will also become bestial, so your IQ will drop.
So I take it if we get to the full conversion, we're now NPCs.
What the hell are you talking about? You start churning, I'm going to put you down.
You'll probably
I'm
become NPCs before you become full Wendigos. So you would run away into the wild eventually.
And I'll
That
keep
would be
a-
kind
I'll
of
keep a-
hilarious.
I keep a lookout on the dog. You know, I'll pick him up as my ally.
So
No, wait. Rather than that, Paul will be required to play just the dog.
Well, he
That would be
could
funny.
take an ally human as the dog.
No, he can't do that. He only can play the dog. Or we make Ethan do that, and that way we don't have to worry about him not talking because he's a dog.
I mean, you're not totally wrong.
Cool. All right. Well,
There you go.
But I would
Outro.
imagine that you have maybe a month before you
I
just
put you down.
decide that you want to run away into the woods. So you'll run away into the woods long before you actually look like a Wendigo. So you'll be like a hairy man running off into the woods.
All right, so you each have to get tattoos, very distinctive, so that when you turn into a Wendigo, we can see that tattoo after we've killed you, of course.
Oh, this was Kurgan. And then you take a
I
trophy.
wonder, after killing the Wendigo, does it start to revert back to its original state
Well, the other ones didn't.
No.
slowly over time as it decomposes?
No, as far as I can
So
tell,
it's actually-
the change is a permanent change. All right, well, we'll leave it there unless there's any questions.
Nope.
Okay, if you are watching this and you have any questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
bye.
See ya.
Bye.